Okay, so step one. This is step one, how to do it. You need a spreadsheet, or it can be a napkin from a coffee shop. Doesn't matter what it is, it's got to have three columns. First column, I'm going to go more in depth now about how to do this. Column A is what we call power keywords. This makes it unique, because the problem is, the worst thing you can do as a dropship seller is go and buy a list of suppliers. Because what happens? Public domain list, everybody else bought the same list. And guess what happens? They find the same suppliers, find the same products, list the same products, and they complain there's no profit. Well, what do you expect? So we must have a system where everybody in the room can be different. And this is how everybody in the room can be different. Now, a lot of people won't do this, and it's to their detriment. You've got to do it. You have to do it. You've only got to do it once in your life. You've got to come up with 10 keywords. It takes me maybe 20 seconds to do this. Learn how to do it yourself. It's very simple. It makes you unique. It makes you different to the person sitting next to you. Column B, as I mentioned, is suppliers. This is the names of your suppliers. I've been through a couple already. Came out, dropship zone. Now, the more suppliers is your profit margins. This is how you increase your profits. And again, the triangle, majority of people won't do it. They'll just hang on the bottom.
Yeah. Sorry, you just got back to the keywords that make your little business unique. Are you looking for something to describe your business?
No, these power keywords is you find different suppliers to the person sitting next to you. You'll see in a minute. These are just to make you different, to find different, because you find different suppliers, you then find different products. So it makes you different to everybody else in the room. All based on these power keywords. It'll make sense, hopefully. Column C is the name of eBay dropship sellers. Like I showed you a couple of products already selling. They're sold by certain dropship sellers. I did blur out their name for privacy, but that's the names of the eBay sellers. And that column C, the bigger the list, the more of a repository you've got of items to list. Column D is a list of proven dropship items, i.e. that set of drawers, etc. So, and that of course gives you a repository of proven items to list. So everything here has a secondary reason. All right, so dropship power keywords. Now, I've talked about why power keywords are so critical already. What is a power keyword? Power keyword is not a product. This is when people go wrong. They start doing product research. It slows you right down. Example, this is a Logitech laser pointer. Power keyword is laser pointer. Projector screen. Not a particular maker projector screen, it's just an item. Not a Toshiba laptop, it's just a laptop. Power keyword is just a generic word. It's not a product. So you come up with 10, only got to come up with 10 power keywords. So it's not a, what's not a dropship keyword, like Logitech is not, that's a product. So it's not product research, it's power keyword research. You've got to come up with 10, I'll get a few more into now. So the power keyword criteria, it's just any product that sells on eBay or Amazon between $50 up to $2,000. We want to focus always on more expensive items. If let's say your average profit margin is, say, I don't know, 25% as an example. If you sell an item for, say, $1,000, of course you make $250. If you sell an item for, say, $10, of course you make $2.50. So we always want to sell more expensive items. So the criteria is, our criteria is $50, $2,000. Of course, you can have your own criteria, purely up to you. Higher the value, higher the profit. Yep.
I was just wondering why the $2,000 top limit on that.
It's purely up to you. You know, that's the maximum that we want to expose ourselves with. But you only want to sell hot selling items. So it's purely up to you. Generally, that's every year, the max amount people spend goes up. It wasn't that long ago, we had a max of $150. That's about as much as anybody would risk buying on eBay. Now, people trust PayPal more than they trust their credit card. We do. Takes the same time as a $10 item as it does to this $500 item. Exactly the same time. Power keyword criteria 2. Velocity. How often does the item sell? We only want to look at items that sell at least 15 times on eBay Australia or Amazon Australia.
Is that per month?
Sorry?
Per month?
Per month, yes. 15 sales plus minimum per month. So we just want to sell stuff that's already selling, it's got velocity. Example, shower screen. So again, this is just a power keyword I came up with. If you want to know how often the shower screen sells for the beginners out there, you just go to put shower screen in there, hit search, then you click on sold listings down the bottom, and then it shows you all these shower screens that are sold. And we know they're sold because they're in green. All these prices are in green. And it also shows you the date that they sold. So very quickly we can work out, yep, they're selling between $50 to $2,000. We flip the page, we can very quickly see, yep, it's greater than 15 sold in the last 30 days. In fact, like take the keyword solar panel. The keyword solar panel is over $3 million have sold on eBay in the last 90 days. So normally you don't have to do this research because most things sell like hotcakes and way over the criteria. So you know if you've got something really weird and wacko, then you might want to check it out, otherwise don't bother. So how to find 10 power keywords? Your environment. So what's in this room that, can anyone see out, see what they can see in this room that meets that criteria? Power keyword?
Clock?
Clock, yeah, I was going to look at the clock thinking, but clock's a grey one, but it does, because it's got to be the $50 to $2,000. Of course, there's a lot of cheap and nasty clocks. That's probably not one, but that is one. Projector. Projector, yeah, perfect. What else we got?
Your phone robot.
Yeah. Don't know what the velocity, but lectern, table, yeah, it goes on chairs, etc. There's plenty around. But anyway, places to find these. Here's some examples. Bathroom, in your bathroom, landing unit, shower screen, bathtub, they all meet the criteria. Lounge room, chair, table, cabinet, all those meet the criteria. Outside, outdoor furniture, barbecue, pump, pool spa, swing set, trampoline. They all, again, meet the criteria. Every room of your house, backyard, front yard, you go to the gym, garage, you work. If you go to a hardware store, if you can't get 100 in 15 minutes at Bunnings, you're doing something seriously wrong, but you only need 10. Your hobby, your magazines. And speaking of that, like, the great thing with this, if we go to Bunnings, like if I go to Bunnings with my wife, I'll spot things like the power tools and stuff that interests me. She'll spot all the gardening stuff that interests her. And so the great thing is we spot different things. Of course, we both spot the coffee stand, but because that's another story. You know, we're all different, so we all see things. If we all walk down the street together, we'll see different things. Because we're not going to have time, but this thing got a reticular activating system, which is how we spot things. So you go and buy a brand new car, you see the same car everywhere. You don't see it until you start focusing on that car. All right, shopping centres. What's in this room we've been through? So once you just write your power keywords in column A. You just need 10 only, that's it, just 10. Okay, so column B. So now you've got some power keywords in column A. Column B is your suppliers. Now, most people when they start off with dropshipping, they want to use wholesalers and distributors. But the big problem with that is most wholesalers and distributors do not want to ship one item to one of your customers. They want to ship 50, 100, 1,000 pieces, not one. So for that reason, over 90% of dropship sellers just use online retailers. Now, and so we're going to focus mostly on that tonight. Because the 80-20 rule, in this case the 90-10 rule, we focus on where 90% of them get from, but I'll also show you how you can find the other ones as well. So, not normally wholesaler, why? They're normally online sellers, and there's 4 criteria they must meet. If they do not meet the 4 criteria, they do not go in your column B. Whenever I'm, sorting out, looking at people's businesses, trying to, work out if anything's gone wrong with them, this is one of the biggest errors they make. So here we go. Must have a dynamic website. We discussed this. This is Crazy Sales. Crazy Sales shows in stock. Also shows add to cart. So we know that it's a dynamic site. If you're not sure, you'll need to contact them. You can contact them within 3 ways: email, phone, or live chat. If they offer live chat. So if you're not sure if they are a dynamic website, contact them. So that's number 2. Number 3, the supplier must be able to ship within 48 hours for obvious reasons. If they can't, they say, oh no, we don't ship, it takes 10 days to ship or whatever, forget it. Check them again in 6 months if they've got their game. And the next thing is, someone asked this question, they must be able to ship with no invoice. Because if you sold them, say, $500, and the owner arrives with an invoice in the box of, say, $300, customer is very upset, and they make a fine.
So you just ring them up and ask them these questions?
Some questions, some yes, other ones you don't need to. Like for instance, you know, are they located in Australia? That's all good.
Oh, yeah, okay, I mean.
That one, yes.
Invoice, like a couple of months.
Yeah, so you need to contact them and say, is there an invoice in the box? You've only got to contact them once, and you put them on your column B. And most suppliers will do it these days because it's more green, and that's their excuse. Oh, we're in not the environment, but the reality is it's cheaper.
Yeah.
They don't put an invoice out, they don't put it in the box, so they save money. And some companies, they don't do it, you say, can they do it as a gift? So, and the gift is, you know, you say, I want to send it by an item and send it to my sister or whoever. Can you send it with no invoice? And often they'll do it as a gift. So that's the word, gift.
Yeah, that would need to be on the website, that you need to check it.
Yeah. Retailers. Any online retailer that meets the 4 criteria can go in your column B, but they must meet the 4 criteria. So for instance, Factory Fast. That's how we first found Factory Fast, which is another supplier that meets the criteria. Here's Factory Fast. And as you can see, it shows items in stock, so that meets the criteria. All right, so right on the display in column B, only if they do meet the criteria. And this is again the 4 criteria. In your country, can ship within 48 hours, dynamic website, and electronic invoice. And of course, you can do exactly the same model in whatever country you want. So if you want to set up operation in the UK, Canada, Spain, wherever you want, you do exactly the same model. But if you're in the UK, only use UK suppliers. US, whatever. Everyone clear on that? Any questions on that? Okay, so here's some suppliers which meet the criteria. Here's a few to get you started. And of course, you want to find the suppliers yourself. That makes it different. If I give everyone here a whole big list of suppliers, everyone's got the same supplier list. So it's important to find your own. Column B, if they do meet the criteria. So, no, as it says here, no, these suppliers give you thousands of dropship items you can list on eBay right now. However, the fastest and best, most popular strategy is to only list the proven items. When we first started dropshipping, we used to go, we bought all the lists, we made it, we did all the mistakes. We even took everything to Dropship Zone and we uploaded the whole 4,000 items up to eBay. It just, took us like 10 minutes to upload the whole 4,000 using the software. And we got about 40 grand worth of sales in the first month, which sounds pretty good to some people here, but it wasn't at the end of the day. It's much more efficient to just sell the proven products. Now, I warn you, if you try and do that strategy today, you'll almost certainly be well and truly in the radar of eBay's trust and safety, and they'll be on the phone to you. And they'll be asking you to prove where you bought all these 4,000 items from. Ramp your business organically, and you'll stay under the radar. Do that today, be warned. Do not recommend it. 80-20 rule. Just list the stuff that's proven. For those who don't understand the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule, 80% of most businesses, 80% of the revenue comes from only 20% of their products. Just focus on 20%. Okay, so but before, yep.